Lin Jing, upon hearing this, suddenly had an epiphany. No wonder it's like this. Then he stepped forward and comforted Huang Qingling. Don't worry, I have talismans with me. Even if Little Sparrow hadn't come, I could have fought that demonic beast. Qingling, you shouldn't blame yourself. Having said this, Lin Jing quickly changed the subject. Shall we just wait here for Elder Master Li and the others to come over like this? Lin Jing asked. All right, Huang Qingling replied. Soon after, Lin Jing sensed a powerful divine sense sweep over him. They're here. Huang Qingling lifted her head and said to Lin Jing. Indeed, the moment Huang Qingling's voice fell, Elder Master Li, along with Li Tongyu and his sister, as well as Zhang Yuan, arrived at the scene. Upon seeing the two, Li Tongyu said with a smile, You two are quite lucky to have been teleported together. Lin Jing then explained, Li brother, you mistaken. We were separated when we entered. It was Little Sparrow who found me. No sooner had Lin Jing finished speaking than Huang Qingling continued. Lin Jing was attacked by a demonic beast. Thankfully, Little Sparrow arrived in time. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Hearing this, everyone quickly turned their gaze to Lin Jing. The smile on Li Tongyu's face also instantly vanished, and he quickly asked, What exactly happened? Lin Jing hurriedly said, Actually, it's nothing. I just encountered a Foundation establishment stage demonic beast. While I was confronting it, Little Sparrow arrived and killed the beast on the spot. Lin Jing simply relayed the incident, without mentioning the previous sneak attack by the beast. Upon hearing this, even Elder Master Li fell into deep thought, because the place where they had just been teleported into was the outer edge of the secret realm, and the demonic beasts here were not very strong. Previously, when they had been teleported in, there had been no incidents of demonic beasts actively attacking people. So, they subconsciously overlooked this point. This time, it was my negligence. I forgot that your cultivation was too low, and it was very likely that demonic beasts would attack you. Elder Master Li frowned and spoke. Lin Jing then said, Elderly, it's not a big deal. I'm carrying some second-rank talismans. Even if I can't beat the beast, protecting myself is not a problem. Elder Master Li nodded his head. Fortunately, Lin Jing was unharmed. If Lin Jing had died in the jaws of a demonic beast right after entering the secret realm, he feared he would have trouble explaining it to Elder Bai and Elder Yu. All right, let's go. Afterwards, they all proceeded together toward the front. At this moment, walking through the jungle, Lin Jing finally had the leisure to feel the atmosphere of this demon race secret realm. Here, it was somewhat different from the outside world. The spiritual energy was much denser than in the outside world. And that wasn't all. Inside this secret realm, there seemed to be a special kind of aura. It was not greatly affecting them. But Little Sparrow was clearly much more active here than in the outside world, continuously circling around them. It was as if this was its true home. The group continued their journey through the dense forest. The forest was vast, and after walking for most of the day, the environment around them hardly changed. If it weren't for the slight increase in the density of the spiritual energy, Lin Jing even wondered if they were lost and going in circles. It was at this moment that Li Tongyu slowed down, approached Lin Jing, and said, Brother Lin, since it's your first time here, you probably aren't aware. We'll have to walk for at least 2 days to reach the cleansing spirit pool this time. Startled, Lin Jing responded to Li Tongyu's words. Then he turned his head to Li Tongyu, confused. Does it really take that long? Li Tongyu nodded. Yes. This demon race secret realm is huge, almost like a small world. As far as I know, there are still many places within this secret realm that remain unexplored. Exactly how big the entire secret realm is, nobody knows to this day. After hearing Li Tongyu finish, Lin Jing looked up at the sky. The sky within the secret realm was foggy and overcast, with no sunlight visible. Then, Lin Jing looked into the distance, where the mountains undulated, seemingly endless. Afterward, Li Tongyu continued, Moreover, we cannot fly at will in this dense forest. At this time, Li Qingqing, who had been eavesdropping on their conversation, suddenly spoke up. I know this. Grandfather mentioned before that the demonic beasts here are far more formidable than those outside. If one carelessly flies on a sword, they might quickly be surrounded by demonic beasts, and even a golden core immortal might get injured then. Lin Jing nodded and said, I heard before that an elder from the Yiyuan sword sect, who was at the golden core stage, died at the hands of a demonic beast. Indeed, that happened, said Li Tongyu with a nod. Subsequently, they continued to walk and talk. On their journey, they occasionally encountered demonic beasts that foolishly attempted sneak attacks. But with Little Sparrow around, Elder Master Li of the Li family didn't even need to lift a finger, as those demonic beasts died one after another under Little Sparrow's claws. On their way, Little Sparrow feasting on demonic beast inner cores probably had its fill by now. And so, the group walked from day into night. Soon night fell. They found a large rock, started a campfire, and rested on the spot to recover their strength. That night passed without incident. The next day they set off again. The deeper they went into the secret realm, the denser the spiritual energy became. And so, the group continued to move deeper into the secret realm. It was the afternoon of the second day, when just after they crossed a mountaintop, Lin Jing looked up into the distance. And he was stunned. He saw a mountain range, winding and rugged, stretching across the ground. Atop that mountain range, a colossal peak soared into the sky, piercing the clouds. Even with Lin Jing's vision, he could only see part of that peak before it was obscured by the clouds in the sky. Li Tongyu came over and said with a smile, Brother Lin, you must have never seen such a tall mountain before, right? Lin Jing nodded and replied, Yes, I've never seen such a tall mountain before. After that, Li Tongyu continued, I was the same as you when I first came here, and the cleansing spirit pool is located below this mountain peak. Lin Jing looked towards the mountain peak and then expressed his admiration. No wonder. Only a place full of natural spirit and exceptional beauty like this could produce spiritual objects like the cleansing spirit liquid. At that moment, Elder Master Li of the Li family, who had been mostly silent, spoke up. All right, we're almost there. This place isn't very far from that mountain peak, and the three major sects have already cleared the area nearby. We can fly there on our swords now. Good, replied everyone. Then, they all took to their swords and flew towards the mountain peak. There's been an ancient saying that speaks volumes. A watch pot never boils. This phrase couldn't better describe Lin Jing and his companions' current predicament. They initially thought that the remaining distance wasn't very far. However, it took them more than an hour of flying to reach the foot of that mountain peak. Of course, aside from Lin Jingji, the others could have been faster, but they deliberately slowed down to accommodate Lin Jingji. And Lin Jingji himself. Naturally, he didn't dare reveal his true strength and flew with all his might at the speed that would be expected of someone at the 8th level of Qi refinement. Along the way, Li Tongyu flew beside Lin Jingji, also helping to explain many things to him. It was after listening to Li Tongyu's explanation that Lin Jingji learned that the towering peak before them was known as the Skiriching Peak, because of its shape resembling a pillar that connects heaven and earth. That's why it was called Skiriching Peak. Exactly how tall Skiriching Peak is remains unknown because no one has been able to reach its summit. Numerous formations protect the entirety of Skiriching Peak. The people from the three major sects once thought there might be some rare treasures atop Skiriching Peak and sought to break the formations to ascend to the summit. But, even with the most skilled formation elders from the sects, they were unable to break the formations of Skiriching Peak. The person who set up these formations clearly had a mastery far beyond theirs, and even if there were incredible treasures up top, they could only sigh in longing. Eventually, the three major sects also chose to give up. They turned their efforts to other directions and continued to explore. The group arrived at the foot of Skiriching Peak. Just like the entrance to the secret realm, this place too had been developed by the three major sects. Lin Jing stood on his flying sword, looking down. These buildings already had the makings of a Fong market. Seeing this, It seemed the three major sects planned to build a market here. Presumably, the people from the three major sects wanted to use the cleansing spirit pool to develop this place for the long term. No wonder so little of the cleansing spirit liquid was being distributed. It turns out the three major sects had a plan for steady and sustained growth. But in fact, there's nothing wrong with this approach. The entirety of the Nanming domain is just so big. Securing cultivation resources is extremely difficult. If they could make good use of this demon race secret realm, they could raise the overall strength of the entire Nanming domain by more than just one grade. It was understandable for the three major sects to act this way. Let's go, let's head down. After Elder Masterly finished speaking, he took the lead in putting away his flying sword and descended. The others did the same, stowing their flying swords and landing alongside Elder Master Li at the entrance to the market. They then followed Elder Master Li into the market. At the entrance to the market, there were disciples from the three major sects standing guard. However, before they could enter the market, an elder in a white robe emerged from within and approached Elder Master Li. This elder in a white robe came up to them, smiling at Elder Master Li as he said, "Elderly, aren't you busy with alchemy at home? What brings you out here?" It seemed this elder in a white robe was an old acquaintance of Elder Master Li's, and they shared a close relationship. Elder Master Li also responded with a smile. "Isn't it that the younger generation in my family wanted to come to the cleansing spirit pool? I'm not too busy recently, so I decided to accompany them on a visit." After Elder Master Li finished speaking, he immediately asked the elder in a white robe, "Old Wang, is it your turn to stand guard here today?" "Indeed," replied the elder in the white robe. After the elder in the white robe finished speaking, Elder Master Li turned to the group behind him and said, "This one is Elder Wang for the Yiyuan sword sect." Several people nodded in understanding, and then they clasped their hands together and greeted Elder Wang. "Elder Wang, good." Elder Wang smiled in response. Then he looked towards Lin Jing and the other two, asking Elder Master Li, "I've met these two members of your household before. And these others, which family are they from?" Elder Master Li first pointed towards Zhang Yuan and said, "This one is a junior from the house of Chen Fan, the immortal." Elder Wang looked at Zhang Yuan and nodded his head. "So, he's from the house of immortal Chen Fan." Junior Zhang Yuan pays his respects to Elder Wang. Zhang Yuan quickly clasped his hand and bowed to Elder Wang. "No need for such formalities. I've met your ancestor several times and even discussed the Tao with him. We can be considered friends," Elder Wang said with a smile. Having said this, Elder Wang then turned his head to look at Lin Jing and Huang Qingling. And at that moment, Elder Master Li also began to introduce them. "These two are juniors from Elder Bai's Yuebao Lu." "Oh, is that so?" Elder Wang uttered, nodding his head. Since Elder Bai from Yubela belonged to the Yiyuan Pavilion and rarely dealt with members of the Qingyuan sword sect, they were not very familiar with each other. Thus, there wasn't much to say. Afterward, Elder Wang didn't engage the others further, but started chatting with Elder Master Li. "Let's go, let's enter and talk while we walk." Subsequently, Elder Wang and Elder Master Li walked together towards the Fong market. Meanwhile, Lin Jing and the others followed behind the two men. Upon arriving inside the Fong market, Elder Wang first found a place for them to stay, and then had a chat with Elder Master Li. It wasn't until a disciple from the Qingyuan sword sect came looking for Elder Wang on some business that he finally left. After Elder Wang had departed, Elder Master Li called the others over. Once everyone was present, Elder Master Li took out several tokens and handed them to Li Tongyu. "These are your tokens for entering the cleansing spirit pool tomorrow. Each person gets one. Tongyu, distribute them to them." "Yes, grandfather." Then, Li Tongyu handed out the tokens to them one by one. Lin Jing received the token from Li Tongyu's hand and began to examine it. The token was made of jade, smooth and warm to the touch. Moreover, there were formation restrictions within the token, which seemed to indicate it might have other uses. Beyond that, engraved on the back of the token were several large characters, E17. But he did not know what the characters on it meant. After all the tokens had been distributed, Elder Master Li spoke again. "Just now, Elder Wang briefly mentioned some details about the place of spiritual cleansing to me. I will now relay that information to you. Hearing Elder Master Li say this, everyone listened earnestly. Having just finished speaking, Elder Master Li, fearing they might not understand, further explained. Oh, the place of spiritual cleansing is the location you will go to tomorrow. The others nodded, indicating their understanding. Then Elder Master Li continued. The token in your hands is the key to opening the cultivation cave dwellings. By placing this token into the formation at the entrance of the cave dwelling, you can open the formation and enter the cave dwelling for cultivation. Also, the engravings on the back of the token, you've all seen them, right? The numbers inscribed are the code for your cave dwelling, which you can open with the tokens you have. Elder Master Li's words ceased, and Li Qingqing spoke, her voice full of doubt. Grandfather, didn't you say this secret realm was a cave? How come there are also cave dwellings? Not only Li Qingqing, but the others shared the same look of confusion. Seeing their reactions, Elder Master Li then spoke, explaining to everyone. The cave dwellings within the cleansing spirit pool were specifically excavated by the three major sects. Today, as you have entered this place, you must have seen it. The original plan of the three major sects was to transform this area into the second Nanshan market. And behind this Fang market, in the cleansing spirit pool area, will become a gold mine for the sects to earn spirit stones in the future. Now it hasn't been completely built, and it hasn't officially started yet. In the future, if you want to enter the cleansing spirit pool, you will need to pay with spirit stones. With Elder Master Li's explanation, the group immediately understood. It was no wonder that the three major sects would spend a significant amount of manpower and resources to build this Fang market. It turns out they intended to take the cleansing spirit pool for themselves. In doing so, not only could they train their own disciples, but they could also allow others to enter for cultivation and collect spirit stones. It was truly killing two birds with one stone, and they seemed to be the first batch of experiencers of the cleansing spirit pool. Afterward, Elder Master Li continued, the tokens in your hands are exclusive to the internal region and can only be used for cultivation within the internal area of the cleansing spirit pool. There are formations all over the cleansing spirit pool, and without a token for the core region, it's impossible to enter there. Elder Master Li's words made Li Qingqing suddenly realize. No wonder. So that's what you meant earlier when you spoke of the core region, internal region, and the outer region. Elder Master Li nodded in affirmation. Yes. With this explanation, Lin Jing also understood. Previously, Li Tongyu had mentioned these three areas to them. So that was what he meant. At this moment, Elder Master Li continued to speak. You only have 7 days for this cultivation session. You must make good use of it. After hearing this, everyone nodded. Then, Elder Master Li gave a few more instructions and let them all go back. Early the next morning, the group finished their meditation early and gathered together. Since Elder Master Li was responsible for leading them inside, but not entering himself. Therefore, next, it was time for them to go together. The group first went to Elder Master Li, said their farewells. Then, they left the small courtyard and headed toward the cleansing spirit pool behind the Fang market. On this road, it wasn't only them. There were many other disciples from various family clans. Basically, all the clan disciples from inside and around Nanshan Immortal City were present. With such an opportunity, naturally, none would miss it. And so, Lin Jing and the others, following the crowd, passed through the Fang market towards the cleansing spirit pool. Along the way, Lin Jing saw Yiyuan and Lu Yiyuan again. This time, Lu Yiyuan did not avoid him. He glanced at Lin Jing, snickered, and then his gaze found Huang Qingling beside Lin Jing. However, this time he only gave her a deep look, and then he turned his head away. This scene was naturally witnessed by everyone. Li Tongyu, more rational, quickly consoled Lin Jing. At this moment, he wouldn't dare to do anything to you. Just ignore him. Lin Jing nodded his head. Although Lu Yiyuan had always wanted to kill Lin Jing, he was no fool. With disciples from 3 major sects present and elders around, he dared only to provoke verbally. He definitely wouldn't dare to start a conflict with Lin Jing at this time. If doing so led to his qualification to enter the cleansing spirit pool being revoked, the loss would outweigh the gain. As for Huang Qingling, she pursed her lips and said, "This person really is like a bad penny." Although she was very dissatisfied with Lu Yiyuan, she also knew that it was not appropriate to start a conflict at this time. Thereafter, to avoid encountering Lu Yiyuan again, they deliberately slowed their pace, staying at the rear of the crowd. Before long, they followed the crowd to a huge cave entrance. Just standing at this entrance, one could clearly feel the spiritual energy inside was extraordinary, drastically different from the outside. At this entrance, there were several disciples from the three major sects standing guard. Everyone entering the cleansing spirit pool had to first have their token inspected. Only then would they be allowed to go in. With the people from the three major sects managing the situation, no one dared to cause trouble here. At that moment, people in front had already had their tokens checked and were gradually entering. At the front of the queue were none other than Lu Yiyuan and Yun Long. Junior brother Yun, the disciple from Nanyun Immortal sect, standing at the entrance, was greeting Yun Long. Clearly, he knew Yun Long. "Senior brother Yu," Yun Long replied. Senior brother Yu then smiled and asked Yun Long, "Did Elder Yun, the Venerable One, bring junior brother Yun here?" The Elder Yun he referred to in his words must be the Yun family's patriarch. Yun Long shook his head and said, "No, our patriarch has been quite busy recently. A clansman led us here." After hearing this, senior brother Yu nodded slightly and said, "I see, that makes sense. Your Yin family has been busy lately. I've heard as much." Subsequently, Yin Long took out a jade token from his storage bag and handed it to senior brother Yu. This token glowed, markedly different from those in the hands of Lin Jing and the others. "As I thought, I knew it. The token Elder Yun gave to junior brother must be for the core area. Please, junior brother Yun, come in." Senior brother Yu didn't even check the token and let Yun Long pass. After Yun Long entered, he pointed to Lu Yiyuan behind him and said to senior brother Yu, "This is young Master Lu from the Lu clan of Nanshan Immortal City. He's with me." After hearing this, senior brother Yu nodded. Then, he directly let Lu Yiyuan through as well. Many thanks to senior brother Yu. Lu Yiyuan gave a fist salute to senior brother Yu. There's no need for politeness. Senior brother Yu nodded back to Lu Yiyuan and spoke. After Lu Yiyuan entered, he turned his head back and saw Lin Jing's group approaching them. Next, Lu Yiyuan turned his head and addressed senior brother Yu again. "Senior brother Yu, is there a cultivation requirement for entering this cleansing spirit place?" Senior brother Yu knit his brows and pondered for a moment before replying. "As of now, there is no such stipulation. As for requirements regarding cultivation, the elders have not mentioned any." Lu Yiyuan, looking back at Lin Jing and others, then continued, "Oh, I see. I was considering reminding senior brother Yu not to let certain people below foundation establishment slip in." Senior brother Yu, hearing Lu Yiyuan's words, followed his gaze looking back and saw Lin Jing's group, who were walking in their direction. Within the group, Lin Jing, at the mere 8th level of qi refinement, was particularly conspicuous. Senior brother Yu then turned back to look at Yun Long. At this moment, it was quite clear that Yun Long had overheard the conversation, yet he said nothing. Senior brother Yu immediately understood. He then said to Lu Yiyuan, "I understand young Master Lu's intention. Don't worry." After speaking, Senior Yu felt something was amiss. So he asked Lu Yiyuan again, "What background does he have? Does he have any connections with the three major sects?" Lu Yiyuan shook his head and said, "He's just a pill master who offers his services to Ubala, and he has a good relationship with the Golden Core Immortal there. Outside, everyone is saying that he's that Golden Core Immortal's nephew. But I know he is actually not. Furthermore, I've known him for several years now, and he definitely doesn't have the backing of any of the three major sects. Otherwise, I wouldn't dare to trouble him." After Lu Yiyuan had finished speaking, Senior Yu nodded and said, "I'll take care of this matter. While we won't kick him out directly, it's still possible to interfere subtly. Hearing what Senior Yu had said, Yiyuan also understood that Senior Yu didn't have the authority to expel someone directly. He was doing this much out of respect for Yunlong's face. Knowing his limits, Yiyuan didn't push further. He quickly clasped his fists in thanks towards Senior Yu. "Thank you, Senior Yu." Senior Yu waved his hand and said, "No need." After speaking, Senior Yu then instructed a young disciple standing by, saying, "Junior brother, please inconvenience yourself to lead Brother Yun and this Mr. Liu to their cavern abode." "Yes, Senior Yu." The young disciple from Nanming Immortal Sect saluted and said to Senior Yu. After speaking, he approached Yunlong and Yiyuan and said to the two, "Brother Yun, Mr. Liu, please follow me." Immediately after, he led the two of them towards the inside of the cave. After the two had gone in, it was only then that Lin Jing and the others arrived at the entrance of the cave. At this moment, another group had just had their tokens checked and were being led in by a disciple guarding the entrance. After those people had entered, Li Tongyu took the lead and headed towards the entrance. The guard at the entrance was still Senior Yu. "Elder brother, your efforts are appreciated." Senior Yu appeared quite mature, certainly in his 30s or 40s. Following custom, Li Tongyu directly addressed him as Senior Brother. After Li Tongyu spoke, he handed his token to Senior Yu. Senior Yu took the token and examined it carefully before nodding to Li Tongyu. "You should wait here for a while. Soon another disciple will arrive to guide you to your destined cavern abode." "Thank you, Senior Brother." Afterwards, Senior Yu returned the token to Li Tongyu. After receiving his token, Li Tongyu stepped aside to wait for the remaining few. After Li Tongyu had entered, the next in line was Li Qingqing. After a thorough inspection by the same Senior Yu, who found no issues, he also allowed Li Qingqing to enter. After Li Qingqing was checked, it was Zhang Yuan's turn. Then it was Huang Qingling. Everyone passed the inspection smoothly, leaving only Lin Jing still standing outside. Next, Lin Jing stepped forward and handed his token to Senior Yu. Senior Yu, after glancing at the token, scrutinized it for a while. Then, he gave Lin Jing a thorough look up and down, frowning deeply. Following that, Senior Yu turned to another disciple from Nanming Immortal Sect and said, "Junior brother, go ahead and bring these few inside." "Yes, Senior Yu." The disciple saluted and responded to Senior Yu. Senior Yu's words made Li Tongyu and the others pause in confusion, because they had all been together before, and Senior Yu knew this. Why were they being suddenly separated here? Li Tongyu was quite puzzled. However, he still took a step forward and said to Brother Yu, "This brother, we are with him and wanted to wait for him before going to the cave tabernacle." Brother Yu frowned upon hearing this and said with displeasure, "You can go in first. The cave dwellings inside are all independent from one another. There is no difference if we enter separately." After saying this, he then turned to Lin Jing and said, "You come in first, and I'll take you to your cave dwelling in a bit." Seeing Brother Yu saying so, Li Tongyu did not persist any further. If they had come a bit earlier, perhaps they would have seen the conversation between Brother Yu and Yiyuan. In that case, they probably wouldn't have felt at ease letting Brother Yu separate Lin Jing from the rest of them. Such a pity. They had likely slowed down earlier to avoid Yiyuan. Therefore, they did not witness the two's conversation. Lin Jing was the same. Although confused, he still went inside. However, Brother Yu still had not returned the token to Lin Jing. "Junior brother, you first take them in. I'll wait for two more people and bring them in together." After Brother Yu finished speaking, that disciple of the Nanming Immortal Sect then said to Li Tongyu and the others, "Let's go, everyone." Seeing Lin Jing had entered, despite their doubts, they followed the Nanming Immortal Sect disciple inside. After they had gone in, Brother Yu waited a bit longer. Seeing no one else was coming, he then said to Lin Jing, "There's hardly anyone coming behind us. I'll take you inside first." After speaking, Brother Yu instructed the other disciples guarding the entrance of the cave, and then led Lin Jing into the depths of the cave. Lin Jing felt something was amiss with what Brother Yu said, but couldn't pinpoint what exactly was wrong at the moment. Afterwards, Lin Jing thought that since this was the territory of the three major sects, there probably wouldn't be any danger. After pondering, he still followed. Upon entering the cave, Lin Jing realized the interior was filled with bizarre rocks and formations, looking like an ancient cavern that had formed long ago. Among these rocks, there were scattered crystals, sparkling brilliantly, quite beautiful to behold. Beyond that, the spiritual energy here contained some indescribable mystical element, making each inhalation feel very refreshing. The cave seemed very deep, but as the two walked further inside, it didn't feel gloomy at all. Moreover, along the way, there were numerous magic artifacts for illumination embedded in the cave walls, emitting a soft glow that was particularly reassuring in this cavern. Lin Jing, thus, continued to follow Brother Yu ahead of him. They walked for almost half an hour before turning at a bend. Suddenly, a fork with two cave entrances appeared ahead. On the rock above each entrance, a sign was placed indicating the destination of each pathway. The sign above one of the paths was labeled Internal Region. The other slanted pathway had a sign stating Outer Region. Clearly, these two paths led to different areas. Moreover, Lin Jing could distinctly feel that the mysterious element in the cave leading to the Internal Region was much more concentrated. Thereafter, he saw Brother Yu head straight for the fork labeled Outer Region. Lin Jing immediately became suspicious and stopped in his tracks, asking Brother Yu, "Brother, my token is for the Internal Region. Why are you taking me to the Outer Region?" Originally, Elder Master Li had told them when he handed them the tokens. Their tokens were for the Internal Region, and he also warned them not to go to the Core Region. Lin Jing remembered it very clearly. Yet now, the Nanming Immortal Sect disciple leading him in was actually trying to take him to the Outer Region. Of course, this would arouse Lin Jing's suspicion. Brother Yu saw Lin Jing standing still and questioning him. So he turned around and said with a frown, "Your cultivation is too low. It's not suitable for you to enter the Internal Region. I'll give you a token for the Outer Region later, and you'll cultivate there instead." Hearing this, Lin Jing frowned in thought for a moment before speaking. "This doesn't seem quite right, Senior Brother. When we arrived, there was no mention of a cultivation restriction for entering the inner area of the spirit cleansing grounds. Moreover, my token is specifically for the inner area, so why would I go to the outer area to cultivate?" Senior, you looked quite displeased, and then said, "Indeed, it wasn't explicitly stated, but that's because it was unforeseen that someone with the cultivation of Qi Refinement Level 8 would come to the spirit cleansing grounds." Lin Jing was clearly skeptical of Senior Yu's explanation. If that were truly the case, Elder Master Li would have informed me before I entered. With that thought, Lin Jing then addressed Senior Yu. "Senior Brother, please return my token to me." As Lin Jing's words fell, Senior Yu's brows inverted in irritation, saying impatiently, "What now? Do you think I would deceive you? If you don't wish to cultivate, then leave on your own." Having said that, Senior Yu flicked his sleeve and turned to leave. He showed no intention whatsoever of returning the token to Lin Jing. Just then, from a branch path in the inner area, a voice suddenly rang out, seemingly filled with disbelief. Lin Jing. Hearing this voice, Lin Jing was also startled. He then turned his head to look at the person emerging from the inner area. It was, surprisingly, Senior Han. "Senior Han, how could you?" Immediately feeling something was amiss, Lin Jing corrected himself. "So it turns out you are here as well." As an inter-sect disciple of the Yiyuan sword sect, it was not strange for Han Jing to be here. At this moment, the surprise was not limited to Lin Jing and Han Jing. Even Senior Yu, who had turned to leave, was now frowning and standing still. He recognized the newcomer, an inter-sect disciple of the Yiyuan sword sect. Last name Han, given name Han Jing. This person, like him, was in charge of managing the spirit cleansing grounds. Only, it was unclear how he came to know Lin Jing. Senior Yu was utterly puzzled. If he was holding Lin Jing's token without anyone else's knowledge, that would be easy to handle. As a manager of the spirit cleansing grounds, he could easily manipulate a minor Qi refinement level 8 cultivator. But if this minor cultivator had connections with this Junior Han from the Yiyuan sword sect, then things would be difficult. After all, this place was jointly managed by 3 major sects. The elders above, particularly concerned about the relations between the 3 sects, had repeatedly warned to maintain amicable relations and to avoid conflict. Subsequently, he recalled what Yiyuan had previously said and immediately felt a surge of antipathy. This person clearly has the backing of the Yiyuan sword sect, yet Yiyuan deliberately withheld this information from me, nearly causing me to make a grievous mistake. Next time I see him, I must give him a proper warning. Seeing Han Jing, Lin Jing was overjoyed. Senior Han, I didn't expect to encounter you here. Han Jing clearly had many questions. This place is under the management of the 3 great sects, and my current duty is to assist the elders in overseeing it. But you, how did you get in here? After finishing, Han Jing sized up Lin Jing from head to toe and then said, "You're quite the lad. Qi refinement level 8. How did you cultivate so quickly?" Han Jing knew Lin Jing very well and was aware that he possessed a talent of the 5 elements mixed spirit root. In his opinion, for Lin Jing to have survived in the Fong market at the foot of the mountain these past few years was already quite an accomplishment. In terms of his cultivation, he could, at most, have improved to the 3rd level of Qi refinement. But he never expected Lin Jing had actually made a breakthrough to the 8th level of Qi refinement in one go. For someone with the talent of a 5 elements mixed spirit root, this was truly defying the heavens. This is a long story. We'll talk about it later. After finishing, Lin Jing looked towards Senior Yu. At this moment, Senior Yu finally found a chance to join the conversation. "Senior Han, you know each other?" Senior Yu asked, pointing at Lin Jing. Han Jing nodded and then said, "This is Lin Jing. To put in a way, he could be considered a junior brother of mine. His father was once a disciple of Yiyuan sword sect, and he had helped me a lot." After speaking, Han Jing turned towards Senior Yu and asked, "Senior Yu, when I was inside just now, it seemed like there was an argument. May I know what that was about?" Faced with Han Jing's inquiry, Senior Yu, without a hint of embarrassment or skipping a beat, blurted out, "Junior Han, it seems you must have heard wrong. Just now, I was introducing the cleansing spirit ground to Junior Lin. Maybe I was a bit loud, which led you to mistake it for an argument." After speaking, Senior Yu took out the token he had taken from Lin Jing and handed it back to him, adding, "Junior Lin, this token is the key to open the cave abode. You must keep it safe." Senior Yu's actions were not due to fear of Han Jing. Rather, provoking Han Jing without cause would be extremely disadvantageous to himself, even if this was all for earning a favor from the young master of the Yun family. If the matter was not handled well and it brought trouble upon himself, the loss would outweigh the gain. So, after much deliberation, he decided to actively reconcile with Lin Jing. At this time, Han Jing also asked Lin Jing, "Is that so?" Lin Jing pondered for a moment. Seeing Lin Jing remaining silent, Senior Yu's heart skipped a beat and his eyebrows furrowed tightly. Could he really think that I'm afraid? Does he intend to pick a fight? However, Lin Jing did not ponder for too long. After a short while, he nodded and said, "It's exactly as Senior Yu said. He was just informing me about the cleansing spirit ground." "Thank you, Senior Yu." After speaking, Lin Jing even gave Senior Yu a fist salute. Seeing Lin Jing being so cooperative, Senior Yu relaxed too and returned the gesture, saying, "Not at all. Junior Lin, you're too polite." Seeing the two being so harmonious, Han Jing nodded and said, "So that's it. It seems I really heard wrong." After speaking, Han Jing glanced at the jade token in Lin Jing's hand and then spoke again. "Lin Jing, come, let me have a look at your token." Lin Jing still trusted Han Jing very much. He immediately handed the token to Han Jing. Han Jing took the token and began examining it. A moment later, after having looked it over, he returned the token to Lin Jing and then said to Senior Yu, "Senior Yu, I know that guarding the entrance can be quite busy. Lin Jing is my junior brother, Let me take him into the cave abode, so you won't be troubled anymore. After hearing this, Senior Yu nodded. That would be good indeed. Then I'll leave it to you, Junior Han. Both of you, if you'll excuse me. After speaking, Senior Yu gave them a fist salute and turned around, walking back the way he came. However, no sooner had Senior Yu walked past the entrance than his expression grew dark, and he said fiercely, Lu Yiyuan, I'll remember you. In Senior Brother Yu's opinion, Lu Yiyuan must be hiding something from him to get him a deal with Lin Jing. In fact, it was quite normal for Senior Brother Yu to think this way. After all, Lin Jing rarely interacted with outsiders. Not many people knew about his expulsion from the Qingyuan sword sect. After Senior Brother Yu left, Lin Jing and Han Jing watched him walk away. Then, Han Jing turned his head and said to Lin Jing, I actually heard all of your conversation just now. You did very well just now. I know a little bit about him. He's not the kind to seek revenge for every grievance, but he's also not very magnanimous. Now that he's back down, let's give him a way out. With what happened this time, I think he probably won't trouble you again. Having said that, Han Jing looked at him with satisfaction. It seems you have grown a lot during these years down the mountain. What Han Jing referred to was naturally the choice Lin Jing had just made. Lin Jing knew that, although Senior Han was there and could help him seek justice, if he really confronted Senior Brother Yu, at most, the affair would be taken to the elders, and Senior Brother Yu would only be reprimanded. Beyond that, things would continue as they were. Even, he might end up hating Lin Jing because of it. So instead of escalating the issue, it was better to give him an out. Although, he probably wouldn't be grateful to him, but at least it saved a lot of trouble. I owe a lot to Senior Han for this matter. Lin Jing gave Han Jing a fist salute. Han Jing quickly stepped forward, placing his hand on Lin Jing's wrist, and then said, There's no need for that. He continued, Actually, the reason I came over was because I heard someone mentioning your name and want to deal with you, so I wanted to come and see. I thought it might be a case of identical names, but after I arrived, I realized it really was you. Senior Brother Yu acted against you because of this person. Upon hearing this, Lin Jing instantly understood. Nobody else but Lu Yiyuan would target him like this. In this place of the cleansing spirit pool, only Lu Yiyuan had a grudge against him. Han Jing went on to say, I don't know that person. What I do know is that the other person by his side is the young master of the Yun family, Yin Long. Don't you have some issues with them? Lin Jing then shook his head and gave a bitter smile. Well, it's a long story. Listen, Senior Han, it's inconvenient to talk here. Let's go to my cave dwelling first. I'll tell you all about it after we get to my cave dwelling. Upon hearing this, Han Jing nodded and said, That sounds good. Come, follow me. I'll take you to your cave dwelling. Afterwards, Lin Jing and Han Jing walked towards the branch path leading to the inner area. They followed the twists and turns of the cave, and it wasn't until a quarter of an hour later that they stopped at the entrance of a cave dwelling. Calling it a cave dwelling was really just a cultivation room carved into the mountainside. It was probably called a cave dwelling just to sound a bit more impressive. At the entrance of the cave dwelling, a stone door blocked the way. Etched upon the stone door were the characters for E17, but there were no other carvings or patterns, making it look quite simple. In front of the cave dwelling's entrance, there was a defensive array, its light shining brightly at the moment. At the front of the array, there was a raised stone platform, on which sat a recess filled with intricate patterns. If compared with the token in Lin Jing's hand, one would find that they matched perfectly. It seems that this was the place meant for the token. This is your cave dwelling. Han Jing then spoke. Lin Jing nodded. Afterward, he took out the token and placed it on the stone platform. Once the token was placed, the entire formation emitted a strong white light, which lasted for several breaths. After the white light dispersed, the formation that had been blocking the entrance disappeared. Soon after, Lin Jing beckoned, and the token flew into his hand. Senior Han, please. Han Jing nodded, went to the entrance of the cave mansion, and directly pushed open the stone door. Behind the stone door was a winding and meandering path. Unexpectedly, the interior was quite deep. Lin Jing originally thought that inside was just a man-made cavern. Next, the two followed the path deeper inside. It wasn't very far, and they soon reached the deepest part of the cave mansion. The contents inside were simple: a stone bed and a meditation cushion. Upon entering the cave mansion, Lin Jing felt that the spiritual energy inside was much denser than outside. Especially within the spiritual energy, the mysterious element seemed much more abundant. This inner area, although it can't compare to the core area, is still very rare, and you should cultivate well. Especially with your spiritual root aptitude. If you can make even a slight improvement, you'll be able to go much further in the future. Who knows? Achieving the golden core might not be impossible. The two had just entered. Han Jing began to advise Lin Jing. Then, he continued speaking, asking Lin Jing, "By the way, how did you reach the 8th level of Qi refinement?" With a 5 elements mixed spirit root, reaching the 8th level of Qi refinement in such a short time must not have been easy. Did you have some sort of fortuitous encounter? As Han Jing's words fell, Lin Jing then spoke. "Senior Han, actually, I have to thank you for this matter. If you hadn't helped to get the alchemy book from Manager Li, I probably wouldn't have achieved what I have now. It was after studying the alchemy technique that I discovered my alchemy talent is actually not low. And I am now a pill master serving at Yubela." Upon hearing Lin Jing's words, Han Jing was momentarily stunned, standing there in shock. After a while, he came back to his senses. Then with excitement, he said, "A pill master serving at Yubela. Good lad. I had no idea your talent for alchemy was so high. If you were in the sect, you'd probably be directly taken as a personal disciple by the Grand Elder of the Pill Peak." Having finished speaking, Senior Han looked at Lin Jing with interest and eagerly said, "Come, tell me, how did you do it?" Lin Jing nodded. "All right." Then he began to tell Han Jing about the events that had occurred after he left the mountain. That day, after we parted ways. In the process, he also briefly revealed some of the feud with Lu Yiyuan. Of course, in this exchange, Lin Jing certainly concealed a lot. The system space and the matter of being the Elixir Valley heir definitely couldn't be known to others, not even Han Jing. In the meantime, Lin Jing also asked about the recent situation of Senior Han. Han Jing also told him a lot about some of the things he had encountered during this time. After the two had exchanged pleasantries, Han Jing shared some information about the cleansing spirit pool with Lin Jing. It wasn't until more than 2 hours later that their conversation concluded. "All right, you should cultivate well here. I will be leaving now." After their talk, Han Jing stood up and bid farewell to Lin Jing. He had only taken 2 steps when Senior Han halted. Then, from a storage bag, he pulled out a jade pendant and handed it to Lin Jing, saying, "This jade pendant is called the United Hearts Pendant, and there are 2 pieces in total, with one of them being with me." While speaking, Senior Han lifted the hem of his garment to let Lin Jing see the pendant hanging at his waist. "You take this one. If something happens, you can infuse it with spiritual power, and I will naturally be aware." Lin Jing was initially stunned, then nodded and reached out to take the jade pendant. Focus on your cultivation. This cleansing spirit liquid is said to have a better chance of improvement for those with poorer spiritual root talent. Perhaps you could improve because of it. Having said that, Han Jing thought for a while and then said to Lin Jing, "Furthermore, I'll think of another way to see if I can get you to cultivate in the core area for a while. The probability of enhancing your talent would be greater there." Entering the core area, Lin Jing knew what that meant. It was probably difficult even for Senior Han with his current status, wasn't it? Although Lin Jing also deeply wished to enter. It was likely that for Senior Han to accomplish these things, he would need to pay a significant price. Therefore, Lin Jing spoke up, saying to Han Jing, "Senior Han, actually, there's no need for such efforts. I can cultivate here just fine." Han Jing seemed to understand Lin Jing's thoughts, and immediately replied, "Don't worry, didn't I just mention to you about the grand competition of the sect?" Lin Jing nodded. The Yiyuan sword sect would soon hold the grand sect competition, and the top 3 would become core disciples. Han Jing had also mentioned it to Lin Jing before, and Lin Jing was somewhat aware of it. Then Han Jing continued, I am hopeful to secure a top 3 placement in this sect competition and become a core disciple. Several elders have high hopes for me, and it should be easy enough if I ask them. Top 3 in the sect competition. Lin Jing was immediately stunned. When had Senior Han become so powerful? Senior Han? Before Lin Jing could inquire further, Han Jing interjected, I've had a mysterious encounter, but let's not get into the specifics. Lin Jing nodded in response, asking no more. Then, Han Jing departed, and Lin Jing returned to the cave dwelling to start cultivating. As Lin Jing cultivated, the spiritual energy mixed with the cleansing spirit liquid continuously entered his body. This spiritual energy, upon entering the body, not only increased his cultivation, Lin Jing even felt that his body seemed to be nourished by the spiritual energy, as if it was repairing his body and his meridians. Undoubtedly, this must be the effect of the cleansing spirit liquid. However, with such a short sitting time for meditation, the feeling wasn't very clear. So up next, Lin Jing set aside his thoughts and focused on diligently circulating his cultivation technique, cultivating seriously. Time flew by, and 2 days had passed. For these 2 days, Lin Jing had been continuously meditating and cultivating without stop. He hadn't even entered the system space. Not until the 3rd day did Lin Jing finally reopen his eyes. Feeling the spiritual power within his body, Lin Jing shook his head helplessly. Initially, these spirit forces seemed somewhat effective, but as the 2 days went by, Lin Jing realized the effects of the spiritual energy carrying the factors of the cleansing spirit liquid were minimal, essentially useless. After understanding this fact, Lin Jing stood up and ceased his meditation. Rather than cultivating here and wasting time, he might as well go into the system space. Lin Jing has always been someone who would act immediately upon thinking of something. After thinking it through, Lin Jing directly summoned the system. He first re-established the boundaries of his cave abode as the limits of his territory. By doing so, if anyone sought to find him in his cave abode, Lin Jing would be able to know in advance. Having finished all this, Lin Jing silently recited in his heart, "Enter the system space." Immediately following, the scenery before Lin Jing's eyes shifted, and he found himself inside the system space. Inside the system space, Lin Jing couldn't help but take a deep breath. The spiritual power within the system space was much denser than that of the cleansing spirit area. However, it lacked the unique effects of the spiritual energy found in the cleansing spirit area. I wonder if I can create a cleansing spirit pool here within the system space. If I manage to do so, it wouldn't be so troublesome. Just by being in the system space and potentially using the cleansing spirit liquid, I might be able to enhance the quality of my spiritual root. Lin Jing gazed at the spirit field before him, deep in thought. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration struck him. He remembered one of the functions of the system space. Environmental simulation. If I simulate the necessary environment for the production of cleansing spirit liquid, is it possible for it to continuously produce the liquid on its own? With that thought, Lin Jing's eyes sparkled. The more he considered it, the more possible it seemed. However, cleansing spirit liquid isn't classified as a spirit plant. It's a special kind of treasure, Tian Kai Di Bao. Whether this is feasible remains uncertain. Afterward, Lin Jing spoke up, calling out the system once again. System, can the environmental simulation function simulate the conditions required for the formation of special, non-spirit plant spiritual objects? After a while, the mechanical voice of the system responded. The system space can simulate types, non-spirit plant treasures generation environments, including spiritual springs, special metal ores, and various spiritual objects. Note, any non-living spiritual objects generation environments can be simulated by the system. Simulating conditions. The host must bring the treasure into the system space to activate the environmental simulation for that spiritual object's growth. With the system's explanation, Lin Jing instantly realized. The system space can indeed simulate the environment for the production of cleansing spirit liquid. However, Lin Jing would need to obtain at least 1 drop of cleansing spirit liquid and bring it into the system space. The system would then be able to activate the simulation for the production of cleansing spirit liquid. Cleansing spirit liquid. For the current Lin Jing, even a single drop was beyond his reach. To Lin Jing's knowledge, the only ones who obtained cleansing spirit liquid were the elders of the 3 major sects and a few selected core disciples. Apart from them, no one else had received even a single drop. Moreover, the moment it left the cleansing spirit pool, the liquid would quickly evaporate. It was not allowed to be taken out. To obtain it, Lin Jing was required to enter the core area, get close to the cleansing spirit pool, then extract the cleansing spirit liquid and immediately enter the system space right beside the cleansing spirit pool. However, Senior Han had just mentioned that there was a powerful formation guarding the vicinity of the cleansing spirit pool, and without permission, no one could approach it. In addition, there were 3 elders from the 3 major sects guarding near the cleansing spirit pool in order to prevent any accidents. For him to get past was an outright fantasy. Furthermore, Senior Han had said that the core disciples who had taken the cleansing spirit liquid did so under the scrutiny of several elders, took a single drop, consumed it, and then immediately left. Even sect members were under such restrictions. This illustrates the extent of the 3 major sects' valuation of the cleansing spirit liquid. Even though the system had shown Lin Jing a way to simulate the environment for the production of cleansing spirit liquid, the method was exceedingly difficult. Afterward, Lin Jing furrowed his brow in contemplation, pondering how to obtain the cleansing spirit liquid. Even just 1 drop would suffice. After a long contemplation, Lin Jing had not come up with any method. Therefore, Lin Jing decided to observe first to see if there were any other methods available. With that thought, Lin Jing directly spoke, calling out the system. System, enter observation mode. As Lin Jing's words fell, his perspective began to change. Soon, he found himself inside a cave dwelling. Once inside the system space, Lin Jing was entirely within the system space. Thus, the current cave dwelling lay empty and deserted. Afterwards, Lin Jing adjusted the viewing angle slightly and then controlled the observation perspective to leave the cave dwelling. After Lin Jing controlled the observation perspective to exit the cave dwelling, he directly went down the passageway, exploring further inside. Not long afterward, he passed by another cave dwelling. Lin Jing's curiosity was piqued. He directly controlled the observation perspective to look inside. Since he was in observation mode and lacked a physical body, naturally, he wouldn't be blocked by formations. As Lin Jing controlled the observation perspective and entered this cave dwelling, he was stunned by what he saw. It was because inside the cave dwelling, a female cultivator was sitting cross-legged on a stone bed, meditating. Perhaps it was because she was alone inside the cave dwelling, or maybe it was for some other reason. This female cultivator had actually removed all her clothes, placing them aside. And on her body, she had only a sheer gown remaining. This sheer gown was translucent. Lin Jing could even vaguely see through the gown, the proud height that it barely concealed. After a moment, Lin Jing came to his senses. He hurriedly controlled the observation perspective to leave that cave dwelling. He could not look any longer. Otherwise, it would truly be impolite. After leaving that particular dwelling, Lin Jing calmed his emotions and controlled the observation perspective to continue forward. In the meantime, he passed by several other cave dwellings, which Lin Jing simply overlooked. It wasn't until he saw a dwelling labeled E9 that Lin Jing stopped. This dwelling, if he wasn't mistaken, should be Huang Qingling's. Before setting out, all of them had checked the numbers on their tokens. Lin Jing remembered clearly that the number on Huang Qingling's token was indeed E9. Following that, Lin Jing controlled the observation perspective and looked directly into Huang Qingling's room. Inside Huang Qingling's room, Lin Jing saw that at this moment, Huang Qingling was earnestly sitting in meditation. Indeed, such an opportunity, even Huang Qingling treasured it and didn't want to waste a moment. After looking around inside Huang Qingling's dwelling, Lin Jing left soon afterwards. After leaving Huang Qingling's place, Lin Jing went to check on Li Tongyu, Zhang Yuan, and Li Qingqing. It could now be said that, aside from Lin Jing, everyone else was cultivating earnestly, striving to absorb the spiritual energy here to improve their spiritual roots. Later, Lin Jing continued to look at several dwellings and found the same situation everywhere. At the end, Lin Jing even saw Lu Yiyuan by chance. When Lin Jing had encountered Lu Yiyuan before, he had sensed his cultivation aura. Lu Yiyuan's cultivation was only at the 4th level of foundation establishment, a level lower than Lin Jing's. For some reason, Lu Yiyuan seemed to be in a sorry state. He had only managed to reach the 4th level of foundation establishment after such a long time. Logically speaking, as a scion of the Lu clan, with ample cultivation resources at his disposal, his cultivation should not be this low. This baffled Lin Jing. In fact, what Lin Jing didn't know was, the reason Lu Yiyuan's cultivation was so low was that he had developed a heart demon, resulting from the affair between Lin Jing and Huang Qingling, which caused his cultivation to stagnate. Although Lin Jing had previously investigated Lu Yiyuan, it was only to learn about his conspiracy with that Wang surnamed Pill Master, unaware of Lu Yiyuan's heart demon. Otherwise, he would probably laugh in his dreams. Upon seeing Lu Yiyuan, Lin Jing even felt a sudden impulse, which was to use fixed-point teleportation to appear inside his cave dwelling suddenly and then kill him. If he could quietly eliminate him, then in the future it was likely he would avoid a lot of trouble. However, Lin Jing could only dream about it. If he really did so, a fight between the two would definitely cause a big commotion and might attract the attention of others. Moreover, there was no certainty of success. Besides, there was also the risk of exposing the system space. After thinking it over, he decided against it, seeing that Lu Yiyuan was cultivating and probably wouldn't stop anytime soon. Lin Jing controlled the observing perspective, ready to leave Lu Yiyuan's place. Right at this moment, sound suddenly came from outside Lu Yiyuan's cave dwelling, and Lu Yiyuan, sensing this disturbance, then opened his eyes and stood up to walk towards the entrance of his dwelling. Lin Jing, however, was faster than Lu Yiyuan. He had already managed to control the observation perspective to the outside at the first hint of noise. Afterward, he saw, standing at the entrance to the dwelling, was none other than Brother Yu. This person was actually looking for Lu Yiyuan, but for what purpose? Lin Jing decided to wait and watch. If it was still a conspiracy against him, he would be able to protect himself beforehand. Before long, he saw the stone door of the dwelling opening. Lu Yiyuan came out. "Brother Yu, how is that matter going?" As soon as Lu Yiyuan saw Brother Yu, he asked him, "Come, let's go inside and talk." Having said that, the two entered the cave dwelling, and Lin Jing also controlled the observation perspective to follow them. Inside the dwelling, Brother Yu directly spoke to Lu Yiyuan. "Young Master Lu, there has been a complication regarding this matter of entering the core area for cultivation. I'm afraid that you will need to prepare some more gifts before it can be arranged." Brother Yu's words had scarcely fallen when Lu Yiyuan's brow furrowed, his voice tinged with displeasure. "Brother Yu, for this matter, I've already paid out over 1,000 medium-grade spirit stones. When you found me initially, that wasn't what you said. Previously, Lu Yiyuan had just arrived not long ago when this Brother Yu found him, saying he could help him enter the core cultivation area. However, he would need to pay a price, that is, hand over some spirit stones, and then he could arrange for his entrance into the core cultivation area. Originally, Brother Yu said that only 100 medium-grade spirit stones were required. Originally, 100 medium-grade spirit stones weren't much for Lu Yiyuan. Moreover, this man was a disciple of the Nanming immortal sect and also the senior brother of Yunlong. It seemed likely he could pull some strings to let him cultivate in the core area. With this in mind, Lu Yiyuan gladly agreed and gave Brother Yu 100 medium-grade spirit stones. But the matter which had already been agreed upon, brother, you kept changing. First it was 100, and then an unexpected increase to 500 medium-grade spirit stones. And then, he said he had yet to make some arrangements. This brother you took another 500 spirit stones from him, which altogether exceeded 1,000 medium-grade spirit stones. Now all the spirit stones he had were taken away by him, and upon the arrival of brother Yu, he was told that there had been yet another unexpected issue. Of course, he felt uncomfortable, didn't he? Seeing Lu Yiyuan's reaction, brother Yu quickly tried to console him. Young Master Lu, don't be anxious. I didn't explain things clearly just now. This is actually good news. After brother Yu finished speaking, Lu Yiyuan, who was initially displeased, paused for a moment and then turned his head, looking at brother Yu with confusion. Good news? Brother Yu nodded, then continued. Actually, it's like this. The arrangements for you to enter the core cultivation area had already been made, but this incident inadvertently alarmed the elder on duty. The elder, upon learning of this matter, did not stop it, but merely gave me a lecture, asking me to be cautious and not to let the other two major sects know about it. After hearing this, Lu Yiyuan was stunned for a moment, then asked in bewilderment, "The elder actually allowed it?" Brother Yu continued, "Of course. The reason for this is because that elder has a very good relationship with my master and usually treats me quite well. It just so happens that it's his turn on duty. If it were any other elder, I probably would have been punished by now. So that's how it is." "I misunderstood, Brother Yu." Lu Yiyuan spoke up. "It's nothing." Brother Yu waved it off and continued. "So I was thinking, while he is on duty, maybe we could ask him for a favor to get you a drop of cleansing spirit liquid for young Master Lu." Upon hearing this, Lu Yiyuan was shocked, his eyebrows knitted together, and then he inquired, "Cleansing spirit liquid? Brother Yu can get cleansing spirit liquid?" Brother Yu nodded and said, "I can't guarantee it 100%, but this time is an opportunity. If missed, there really will be none. However, this matter requires that elder's approval. So, young Master Lu," Brother Yu hadn't finished his sentence when Lu Yiyuan already understood. It was, he would need to pay out even more spirit stones to bribe that elder. Thinking of this, Lu Yiyuan's frown deepened, and after a moment he said, "Brother Yu, indeed, cleansing spirit liquid is precious, and anyone's heart would be moved. But I have no spirit stones left, and moreover, I don't believe that I have anything that could move that elder, just by myself." After listening to this, Brother Yu then said, "Young Master Lu, this truly is the only chance. Don't you still have a defensive magical treasure, third-tier talismans, and forbidden artifacts on you? If you could take out one, I could deliver it to that elder, and maybe this matter will be settled." As Brother Yu's voice fell, Lu Yiyuan took a step back, becoming immediately vigilant. "How do you know about these items on me?" Lu Yiyuan did indeed have these items on him, but these were his life-saving tools, which he wouldn't readily tell anyone. Seeing Lu Yiyuan like this, Brother Yu sensed trouble and quickly started explaining. "Young Master Lu, as the most cherished descendant of the Lu clan of Nanshan Immortal City, isn't it normal for you to have such items?" Brother Yu's words also reminded Lin Jing, who had been watching. Indeed, Lu Yiyuan was deeply favored by Wu Kai Immortal, and his father was also a Golden Core Immortal. Thus, it wasn't surprising for him to have some Golden Core stage defensive magical treasures or third-tier talismans and forbidden artifacts on him. Before, Lin Jing was thinking of entering the cave dwelling and killing Lu Yiyuan. Now, thinking back, he realized how ludicrous that idea was. After hearing Brother Yu's words, Lu Yiyuan's expression eased somewhat, but he still kept his brows furrowed, not lowering his guard. For some reason, this time meeting Brother Yu, he felt some unaccountable irritation. Perhaps it was because he had given him so many spirit stones, yet he hadn't accomplished anything for him. Or perhaps it was something else. At first, he had asked him for help in dealing with Lin Jing. At that time, he still had some good feelings towards Brother Yu. But after that incident, Lu Yiyuan felt that his attitude towards him had changed. Although, during their few conversations, he still maintained a smiling face when facing him, just as before. But Yiyuan sensed that Brother Yu was clearly distancing himself from him. Even when he brought up the matter about Lin Jing, Brother Yu only gave perfunctory responses. With these thoughts in mind, Yiyuan spoke again to his senior disciple Yu. Senior disciple Yu, I am aware of the precious nature of the cleansing spirit liquid, and I have no such delusions. I merely need senior disciple Yu's help in securing a cave dwelling in the core area, and I will be satisfied. If it's difficult for senior disciple Yu, then I will have to try my luck with young Master Yin. Previously, this matter had always been discussed solely between Yiyuan and this senior disciple Yu. Yin Long was unaware of it. However, after taking Yiyuan's spirit stones, senior disciple Yu had been dragging his feet in taking care of the matter. Thus, Yiyuan started to have his doubts. He wondered if he was being deceived by senior disciple Yu. Therefore, he brought up Yin Long on purpose, to make senior disciple Yu wary. After hearing this, senior disciple Yu quickly replied with a smile. Young Master Lu, there's no need to bother young Master Yin with this. Rest assured, although I dare not guarantee the cleansing spirit liquid, I assure you there's no problem with procuring a core area cave dwelling. Since young Master Lu isn't interested in the cleansing spirit liquid, we needn't trouble that elder. Just wait, young Master Lu. The core area cave dwelling. I will surely have it settled by tomorrow at the latest. Yiyuan's brows knitted tightly as he said, Senior disciple Yu, please make it quick. We have only 7 days in total for the cleansing spirit venture, and it's already the 3rd day. The remaining time is not plentiful. Senior disciple Yu continued, Rest assured, young Master Lu, you have a good relationship with disciple Yin, so naturally you're my disciple too. I will ensure that you get into the core area for cultivation as soon as possible. Afterwards, senior disciple Yu bid Yiyuan farewell and left. Lin Jing, driven by curiosity, controlled his perspective and followed behind senior disciple Yu. As soon as senior disciple Yu stepped out of his cave dwelling, his expression turned grim. Afterward, with a dark face, he continued walking deeper into the tunnel. Before long, he arrived at the edge of the core area. Just ahead, 2 disciples from a Nanming immortal sect were standing guard. Senior disciple Yu. On seeing senior disciple Yu, the 2 greeted him. Senior disciple Yu nodded, returned the greeting, and then proceeded onwards. It wasn't long before senior disciple Yu arrived at the entrance to a cave dwelling. He reached into his storage bag and pulled out a token. This token, unlike the one Lin Jing held, had a continuous flow of light moving on it. Subsequently, senior disciple Yu placed the token on the stone pedestal at the entrance to the cave dwelling. Then the formation vanished, and after taking the token back, he pushed open the door and went inside. Afterward, senior disciple Yu approached the stone bed, his eyes showing a thoughtful expression. After a while, his facial expression softened, and with a sigh, he muttered to himself, This time, I have indeed been too hasty. It's no wonder Yiyuan became wary of me. He smacked his forehead and spoke with annoyance. I really am an idiot. Why did I bring up the cleansing spirit liquid? And some of his magical treasures are not for me to covet. I truly muddled things up this time, getting a little too greedy. I suspect that I might have caught some influence from Yiyuan. Then, senior disciple Yu patted his storage bag and smiled with satisfaction, saying, However, to trick him out of 1,000 medium-grade spirit stones isn't too shabby. It would take me decades to earn that many spirit stones on my own. He added, with a touch of envy, These scions of noble families. Sometimes, you can't help but feel jealous. They really are born under a lucky star, not having to worry about cultivation resources. Next, I still need to figure out a way to have him cultivate in the core area for a couple of days, after taking his spirit stones and not following through. If young Master Yin finds out, it's likely going to be hard to explain. Besides, I have to give a little handout to my fellow disciples. 100 spirit stones should suffice. The rest will be all mine. This is a profitable haul.